Here is our commercial grade Lasko that we acquired. And as we acquired it, it has some dust on it and some surface, very light surface rusting. So when we do our typical servicing, cleaning, we're going to, after we wipe it down and whatnot, we will also put a little wax on it to protect it. So let's first remove the cage. And because we are at the condo location, we're not in our normal workshop, we don't have our regular tools with us, so we're gonna make the most of it. Yeah, some of these I found look like they were starting to rattle out. Actually, I can do this with my hand. What we don't have with us today, what might make sense in the future, is to put a set of washers on all of these, maybe rubber washers, to help us with any vibration.
Can you get this one off?
We have another style you use.
Wrench or something?
Yeah, I have to try a little wrench. Yeah, so what we have going on here is just this screw on the side here. You want to try it?
It's probably way too big. Yeah. I don't think any of this would actually fit on it.
Okay.
No.
Well, so one of the disadvantages of not being in a regular workshop is when something doesn't work in your favor, you don't have the right tools. So basically, the correct size socket will not fit because of the edge of the guard there. So what we're having an issue with is clearing this through the socket. Now, the tool set that we have here at the condo location is just like, you know, it's a tool set for this location. It's not really meant to like, oh, have every tool here for every project. So we have some open wrenches. That doesn't seem to work either because we don't have one that's small enough. So we will see if we can make this work.
It's coming out.
It's coming out.
Yep.
I was going to try to use this adjustable wrench, which might be. I had friends growing up who used to say all you need is an adjustable wrench and duct tape and you got everything you need. But I always struggled using these adjustable wrenches.
Got one off.
Alright, you want to do this one?
Side.
Alright, I'm going to work on the back side then. This kind of, huh, it's weird. That is very interesting. Interesting design. I mean, I obviously, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the metal grill, but it's like if there was just a little more clearance. Now, what I'm wondering is if there was washers, rubber washers between the opening on the guard. You got that one out?
Yeah, it did.
The opening on the guard and
The bottom one seemed to work.
okay, great. then if there was that washer there, I think it would have forced the head of the screw to be a little further out to clear it. But that'll be a mental note for a little upgrade, rubber washers. I'm imagining that this guard was never off this fan. This fan has some hours on it, but it's not. You look at the blades, and there's not that like layer of dust or dirt on the edge of the blade. There's more. The dust that's on this thing, I think, is just like from it physically just sitting there. I got it.
So now this one I can't get out.
Same problem as.
Yeah.
So if you were one of the rare people who have one of these fans and you're servicing it, make sure you have an open-ended wrench, like a smaller, I don't know the exact size, but in your tool set, you're going to need the smaller range for that. We're using essentially a pair of pliers and an adjustable open-ended wrench to do this. A socket will not fit on the end because the guard is blocking it. And if we were at the main location in our normal workshop, this would have not been an issue. All right, so flip it around. Man, this is heavy. I'll take that. I also have to make sure that you're on camera, like not blocking it. So I apologize to the viewers out there if we're blocking this. So maybe just move this over here while this is working.
It's weird how some of them you can easily take off with the wrench, others you can't.
Alright, so this is not really that dirty at all. Like it is seriously just like dust. So what really I'm going to do is just do some light dusting to get it off. Yeah, so this is the dust that's coming off. It's not really a big deal. The one thing I like about this fan a lot is you don't have to worry about the guards getting brittle. You also don't have to worry about the guards fading because of the sun or yellowing. You just have to really keep them from rusting. And the guard here has 0 rust on it. Yeah, I mean this is it, like for the dust. Yeah, if this was like highly filthy dirty, this would involve the hose for sure. Alright, so I'm gonna just do that exercise to both sides. But that should have been the worst because that was the back of the front grill. So I had posted a picture of this in the Facebook fan group, and one of the commenters just said, not impressed. And I basically said, okay, seriously, like what would impress you? Like in they weren't impressed, they said, by the performance. Like what would impress you, really? I mean, with what's really available today, and technically this fan's no longer available, like what would impress you? Because the thing does throw off a ton of air. Yeah, it's noisy, but it throws off a lot of air, and this is probably a fan that truly lives up to the commercial label for it, because the way that back of the motor is totally sealed up, you can't even see the windings. Like, they basically made it so no matter what dirty environment you have it in, you're not going to clog up the motor with dust and dirt. So that person responded with a picture of a metal bladed fan. I don't even know what it was. It looked like a TV set from the 60s. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. I get that the vintage predecessors are just built better, but I'm talking about something that's relatively modern, this, no pun intended, would blow away anything really today, within the past 15 years, or even, I think the next equivalent to something like this would be really a P25, from similar time. And really the most commercial you can get in terms of box fan today is the Air King, and that while it's a really nice fan, it's also has plastic blades and a thinner cabinet.
That's gonna be annoying.
These move.
That makes sense.
And what's cool, they're isn't that cool? The fan will actually stand up even with them turned in like that. Yeah, so to that person in the group, I understand vintage is better, they don't make them like that anymore. But after, I commented back and just politely just said, seriously, what would, and I just, and they had a picture of the fan, and I said, seriously, I understand, but I'm talking about in recent history. And then they never wrote back. But I thought about it again, and when the person said about this fan that they weren't impressed, because these are pretty darn rare, I bet he's never even been around one in real life or used one. So I also thought, is this someone just defending, here, I'll take that, defending the vintage stuff, no matter what modern fan comes out, they don't like it. All right, so what I would like to do next is let's see if we can pop off those HV blades. We should be able to. Now, what I am curious is, what I'm very curious is, my boy Lamont out there, as you know, he's got me on this kick to retrofit the Air Kings with these HV blades. When these blades are mounted on those Air King fans, and if you need to, we can put the legs back out. When those blades, these exact blades are mounted on the Air King, we have learned that you need to screw down onto the round part, because that shaft still has a flat part. What I'm curious is, if we get this off, if this even has a flat part on it.
Nice and tight.
Well, that's good. And that's how it's going to go back on. So while you're doing that, I'm going to just quickly wipe. Yeah, there's nothing on this. It's awesome.
Tiny little flat spot right there.
Was that where the screw was, or no?
Yeah, that was what it was.
Okay. So the screw, in that case, was on the flat part. So kind of the opposite of what we've been doing with the Air King. How do those blades look?
Not too bad, really.
Just a little dusty. So probably just a wipe down, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. What we might do with those is I have some cleaner under the sink.
Where should I put these?
You could just lay them on the counter there. We have some cleaner under the sink, and what we can do, I think we'll spray those because I want to put wax on them before we polish them before we stick that back on. Now, what I would like to figure out is, I don't want to go tearing this motor apart, but I would also, while we're here, like to oil it.
I see how it works.
You see?
So, there's 4 bolts, well, nuts, I should say, in the
Okay.
back. And then there's just 2 screws holding the 2 sides together.
Okay. So while this is a commercial fan and it's probably sufficiently still lubricated, while we're at this point, and I don't want to take anything for granted because like I was thinking about it more and more. I know with the P25, I don't use it at all because it's really special, and I managed to keep it in a box since it was new. This I may use. So it looks like there's a spacer here.
Yeah, but
That's to keep the there's some dust in here though. Yeah, we should definitely clean this over here. Let's just make sure we're still like on camera here doing what we're supposed to do. Okay. Yeah. Again, and I keep starting thoughts and not finishing them because I see something here and want to make sure we're doing it right. But while this fan is really, really well constructed and well built, like this thing is this is solid construction. The one thing I do wish is it had oil ports. That I am not sure why it does not. And maybe they just think, you know what, we're gonna make this so it'll run solid for like 10 years. And most people destroy their fans before that 10 years comes. I don't know. I do see similarities in how things are constructed to the equivalent 3733. Not saying this is 3733 motor or this is or any shape or form comparing it to a 3733, but just with the plastic shroud around how those motors have the plastic as well. Screw stuck.
It's not stuck. So a little tap on the back.
Okay. Here it is. Is this where it goes?
Yeah. You might need that. Yeah, loosen up. You put it in this one. There it goes. And then maybe this bottom right here.
I guess in a sense, everything kind of works out for us because we don't have our compressed air here. If there's no open motor to blow out any air, everything's sealed up. If anyone knows about this motor, like, did Lasko put it in anything else? Like, is it in their floor fans, the HV blades? The other interesting thing is when you turn this fan on, you don't get that startup sound like you do with the same exact blades on the Air King. And I wonder, because this motor is more powerful, that it's just running at a higher velocity. I don't know. Alright, so you got one more?
Yes. It's right over here.
Alright.
It's a little dusty in here.
We will hopefully get that cleaned up.
Put the screwdriver in.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole motor. Actually, yeah, you take the motor mounts out anyway to get the thing apart.
Yeah, I just want to get it, be able to open it so we can oil it. You have to tap that screw through.
Might need to be unscrewed. Yeah, you unscrew it. Then there's two screws here. I'm assuming it takes one side off the other.
Hold that. That screw needs a tap through.
Okay, it's not. There it is. Got it.
Careful that you don't strip out that. Alright, where's that nut for that? Is that it?
Yeah. Okay, so there's a certain nut right here.
Yeah.
So then
it has to come out that side.
yeah, no. So flat.
That's supposed to be something.
Or I could take the whole motor out if you want.
Well, the problem is I don't want to start screwing with the wires here.
It's kind of annoying design in my opinion. You have to take out the whole motor, then take out 4 more screws just to get the motor in half.
Yeah, hang on. I see what you're saying.
So you're just like 2 here.
Yeah.
There's 2 and 2.
Alright. Okay.
Actually, no, it's just a screw that takes it out. Fine, probably. There's so many screws.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really annoying. It takes the whole mount out with it too.
Yeah, you gotta take the mount.
Take everything apart just
Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
This is something I also don't want to mess up because it's like, it's not like, oh, let's go get it. Alright, so we got the wires here.
So
What we could do is lay let's lay the fan down. Okay, hang on, let's move the tools.
it's a nice heavy engine though.
Motor.
Motor, engine, whatever you want to call it.
Alright, so I'm gonna tilt it back towards me. It's funny, it's much lighter without that. Alright, so let's open up the motor. And I do have zoom spout here, so do you need help? You got it?
No. That seems too small though.
Let me see.
Wait a second. I'm gonna
Hang on.
fold these feet in.
I do not want to strip this out. There we go. It's
Clearly there's a power tool involved putting this back on
yeah.
the factory.
I bet we are the first persons on YouTube,
People.
people to rip one of these apart. because they're so rare. And yes, to the commenters out there, yes, if we had a power screwdriver, this whole, every single screw we take it out would happen much, much faster. But guess what? We are not at our primary location, and we do not have that. We are making the most of the time that we have this weekend, and we are enjoying ourselves because this is a hobby. And that is what the fast forward feature is for. Okay, so that's the capacitor. Do I want to take that off? Not really.
Yeah, a little rust under here.
Yeah. The screw's not happy. Is there a bigger screwdriver I can use?
Looks smaller. That's smaller.
That's not gonna work.
Nothing. Bigger.
Okay. Yeah, because we're in danger of stripping this if I push it. Because that screw does not, look like it was stripped when I put on. Well, if that's the case, I don't know how I'm getting this open. This is this is a crazy, this is the most solid motor I've seen on a fan. Yeah, there's no place for the screwdriver to really bite into it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just careful about stripping it. And this is it for those screwdrivers. What's that one there? Those two there. Those are not screwdrivers.
Those are screwdrivers. One's like a star, and another one's
Oh.
too small.
I see the one with the star just for fun. All right. You might be out of luck though, because we don't have our. If I had a bigger screwdriver, we could probably get this off. So let's reassemble it. So
I think what we should do,
yes.
while we're assembling this, is put the motor on the mount and mount it to the, then mount it to it.
Okay, well, let me do those first because I can't get
Yeah,
these.
I know.
Yeah. Do you want to clean that while we
So
wait?
just rinse it out. There's no way I'm putting a paper towel.
Yeah, if that's what will be best, we can do that. All right, so we are going to reassemble this. And I do not like these screws, but I would be tempted to actually replace these screws if I took them all out. Like replace these screws, because they seem like the heads could strip pretty easily. And I think these were machined in for sure. So I'm gonna put them in snug, but I'm not gonna crush them putting them back in, because again, I don't want to strip these out. they definitely built this with the intention of it's not coming apart. Like, meaning like, let's just build this in a way where we oil it, protect it from dust, and it will never see the light of day. All right, so that's done.
It's a little wet.
Mhm. I mean, this thing feels spin down and all that stuff is wonderful. The bearing or the shaft in there feels very free. So I don't think it's like, oh, it's dry and we have to oil it. It was more about let's just do it to make sure everything is
Dry enough
good.
for now, or no?
Hang on. Yeah, I think it's dry. So get a couple spots out of there. But it's good that it's clean. Alright, so this, my friend, I think went through like this, right? Or did it go like this?
Yeah, like that. But then flip over, down. So yeah, now you bolt that, obviously.
Like this. Correct?
Yeah, like that. I believe. Then that went on the bottom.
Yeah, that was on the bottom. And this is the top of the fan.
Yeah, so you get this. I'll have to put these on first. That's not going on.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt anything down here.
So, something. This. That.
Yeah.
And then this. Obviously went on top.
Yep.
That went on.
Yep. Okay.
So now you see that. Secure this onto the mount before you actually put it.
So this is kind of, as they say, half-ass. But what I was going to do was with that front, just give a squirt of Zoom spout.
This is getting annoying. Maybe we put the motor mount on.
Well, we do it in reverse the way we did it.
Guess that's gonna
Should we stand it back up?
be. If we can fit one on. I just noticed, look, there's like an arrow right here in the top.
Hang on.
Right, we'll try this.
The other thing is I might be stupid. This could be a ball bearing motor, which I am not schooled on that. So
Spin around, squirting.
just a couple drops because that's all these ever need. If not, you get oil everywhere.
Probably enough.
That's more than enough. Like you really only need 3 to 5 drops. Okay.
Does it spill out? It spills out when you do this. Yeah, it spills out. I don't think there's really.
That's fine. So somebody in the comments, if this is I'm not schooled on ball bearing motors. Is this a ball bearing motor or is it just your typical sleeve bearing? I tend to believe sleeve bearing just because I do.
The screwdriver, there they are.
spray cleaner on the cabinet, but I just wanted any loose dust. Probably cut it off anyway just by leaning on it. But you would think this has low hours on it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like used and abused.
It's not.
Probably sat in the basement. That's really probably where the rust is from.
I'm not gonna get smell on that.
Clean the blades. I know we have that crazy idea of putting a set of HV blades on that McGraw Edison fan. Just looking at the center, the opening on this, I think that shaft on that McGraw Edison is going to be too big. But we will try it. If we fail, we'll fail together. Yeah, this is where I wish we were in our regular garage to have that bigger screwdriver to pop that off. But maybe in a way, you know, again, didn't seem like it needs to be oiled, but what I'm saying is going into it next time, we'll know that, and likely I'll probably replace those screws next time and also put on some rubber washers on both sides of the guard. So kind of little upgrades to it. And it's kind of how you learn, right? Because we've never owned one of these yet, let alone take one apart or seen anyone do it. So it kind of it's kind of a learning voyage on the first time here. Count this fan, I now own 4 sets of HV blades. 2 are in Air Kings, this one, and then 1 that's not used yet. Making some progress.
Yeah, we got 2 in.
Good. While he's working on that, I have the blades cleaned up, and off camera I am just applying a light coat of turtle wax to them. I do this on my plastic bladed fans as well. I mean, aside from it looking nice and giving it that new look to it, I do think the wax, much like your vehicle, protects from the sun, and maybe, just maybe, with that super smooth finish, maybe, in my mind, I'm not an engineer, it makes it a little more aerodynamic with the smoothness, but that could just be in my mind.
That
Yeah.
you hold this. This one. Where's that? Can you move it? Oh, this.
Hang on, I'm looking.
There we go. There's one. This one now. There you go.
Yeah, so that, the way this goes into that black piece there, that shroud, or if you will, the Lasko 3733s, and I think even the cool colors, I don't know about the Power Plus or the Pro Power, have a similar kind of design. That's probably where the similarity begins and ends. Probably don't need that.
And the motor is fully back on.
All right, so you want to stand up that cabinet and maybe take some paper towel and let's see, this is all we have.
This one's real nice. Oh yeah.
I don't think I have any the cleaner here. Yeah, I might. Clean and Shine multi-use. We'll have wood cleaner. So it's either Windex or that. That's all we got.
Okay.
Typically, I use multi-purpose cleaner. And once you get that done, you'll put a coat of wax basically everywhere. Now I'm doing
New formula.
what?
This says on the bottle. You'll have enough for the whole fan.
Nice. I'll have to make sure you pick up some more of this location. As you get, I prefer like multi-use cleaner, non-abrasive. But again, because that's just mostly dust you're dealing with. Not like
Smells horrible too. Probably.
But the cleaner smells horrible. That's, yeah, you're getting a mix of rust on that.
Yeah, it's a little dirty. And now the outside.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting underneath it too. Alright, so.
Probably do that last. Trying to spray the
Doing
camera.
that? Oh, sorry. So we got,
I'm gonna spray it. No?
no, it's all done. It's waxed and
Ah.
everything. So this is waxed, both cleaned and waxed on both sides. So that looks really good. It has that smoothness feel to it. Slight, barely noticeable, like just dot rust, but missed a spot for wax. Get that on. Alright, now I got all the wax on.
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah. So that's done.
Might put a little too much on there.
This we're gonna make this fan a YouTube star because once this thing is cleaned up and everything, the number of comparison videos that we will do, comparing it to the Air King, comparing it to the P25, comparing it to the puny Lasko 3733, comparing it to the Pro Power, you know, we can have some fun. And you know the metal bladed Edison that I have, that, you know, that needs restoration, but that could be a fun comparison too. And it might let you know a little secret, there could be another one on, like just like that on its way, that's in way better shape.
Oh.
Yep. So what it'll allow me to do is I'll restore the one that's kind of restore the one that we have, and then the nicer of the two probably keep as more of a museum piece, and then the less nice one use it. That actually looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got the handle and everything. Alright. Is that it? Did
Yep.
we get the supports?
Nope, I did not.
Alright. Both sides of the supports. And then we'll give them a little waxing. And then our YouTube sensation fan will be ready for the cameras. This is behind the scenes. This is like the makeup room. This is also one of those fans, if I were to see another one out there, I would also get it. I would feel guilty about it because I know there's collectors out there who, yeah, it's like you want to give them a chance to get it. It's much like the P25. I've had so many people ask me if I'd sell that. Nope. $5,000. Basically, you set a price that you're like, yeah, it's for sale, but you have to pay this, which means it's not for sale, basically. All right.
There's nothing left in there.
You're just gonna squeak by, basically. Yeah, as I've said to the viewers,
Cleans up really nice.
yeah, it cleans up very nice. They did a nice job with this fan, like just the finish. I do like the color of it. I mean, really, the only plastic on this fan is the switch and like
The mount.
the mount for it into the frame, and then like the capacitor.
There we go.
All set?
Yep, all cleaned up.
All right, so now you can step in and you want to consolidate some of the stuff we're not using, and I'll work on the waxing part. So just make sure on camera is all right. So there's already some wax on this buffer pad, so I don't need to put too much on, and you really don't need to go crazy with this because it's not like it's like a car and you're driving it. The one rough spot is like when you have rust and you're basically waxing over top of it, but I do it anyway. Getting the guard back one might not be fun because of
Might take a while.
yeah.
One of us could be putting on the back grill. Another one of us could be putting on the blades.
Yeah. So just like you wax anything else, you try to circular motion where you can. I know you can't circular motion everything because just the way it is. Alright, don't like to get too much wax on that switch, even though you can wax plastic, but if you have plastic that has like grain or something on it, like you can't get the wax out of the like the grooves. That looks like just flat. Right, so we will do the bottom next. So one thing I struggle, as much as I've been chasing this fan down, the model number is B20725. It's not like, oh, 3733. It's like, it's its own thing. And I can't, there's a patent on there, 3129342, just some random numbers, 406351. I don't see like a date code is what I'm getting at. And Lasko typically has their dates stamped into the cabinet. And I don't see anything else that would indicate that. I'm going to put a little extra wax on the bottom because it's the bottom, but basically, you really only need to, you don't like really need to like wax these frequently at all, but because I still have fans I've waxed years ago, when I go to touch them, I can feel that the wax is still on them. That's good. Right, so now, since it's facing me, so I probably I'm not adding any wax to this buffing pad here, or this pad, because there's enough. So what I like to do is just go down here. I find if you put a little dab on it, then it gets stuck in all the like the crevices. So like you just gotta use what's already on the pad. That seems to work out well. Yeah, I can see the wax on there. So then, and you know, it is much easier to wax a fan when you have the blades. It's even easier to clean when you have the blades off. All right, flip it around. Where does this go to?
Blades.
Oh, okay. I was like, why do we have extra?
I'm assuming, I don't think this is for keeping the shaft in, obviously.
Mhm.
I think it might be for how far you can put back the blades.
That's exactly what it's for. So it doesn't walk back into the motor.
Exactly.
You know, not that I really want to compare this to a P23 because that's its own special fan, but that does not have, or I'm saying P25 or P23 really. I keep saying P25 because even though P25 is much newer than a P23, it is way more rare. Like you can go on eBay right now and find tons of variations of the P23 out there, whether they're in really good shape. Actually, there is one, a blue Kmart one, Robin's Egg. I have the same one with the metal blades on, with the box, which I also have. But just like that with the box on eBay right now, I think for over $100. And mine's in, I looked at it, mine's in better condition. Mine's near new like condition, except I replaced a cord on it. But what I like about these that those don't have are the metal guards. that's the one thing, like, it's hard to stand up the test of time, even on those, because like once the guards are gone, they're gone. Like unless you can get them, you know, from another collector that has them. But typically, it's like things that people don't have are guards and blades. Well, metal blades, they're hard to kill, but the plastic blades, you know, like motors and stuff, like people like keep oiling them, servicing them, restoring them, and that's fine, but they need guards. Like I do have a Lakewood, I have a 3rd gen that needs work, but it also needs grills. And I tried to modify Lasko grills to go on there, and it's not really that great. You probably know the fan I'm talking about. The one that Lakewood, that I put those, like, I think those Galaxy, or
yeah.
and I added.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Blades, please. You want to work on the back grill?
Yes.
All right. So this was in that flat part you said, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when doing this, it's funny, this screw is basically the same screw that's in this motor, in the motor. But when doing this to the Air King, one of the differences, like you're basically going by feel on how far to put this on. This, like, at least there's some guidance with the markings. Probably an easier way to do it.
So dry.
Oh, I can definitely tell those blades are shining. Looks good.
It's weird how this side lines up, but this one at the moment is not.
Hmm.
Here's that one. Let me get that one.
I have them in for the rest. This is also where if we were the home location, we would have also 2 sets of tools, so we could do this together. I think my favorite guard in terms of easy to do is the one on the McGraw Edison Comfort Fan, because it has the big, the larger socket, and it just comes right off. You need the other guard.
You get the cord.
Yep. I got it. Now we line those up. Wait. Okay, never mind. I thought the grill was upside down. Because I was looking at the badge, but it's correct.
Make that.
Yeah, so far my only, I guess, and I hate to even call it a criticism of this fan, would be these little screws that are tough up to deal with, because there's no space between the guard and all the edges of the screw, so like you can't just get a socket on it all the way down. That's one. The other is the hardware used to keep the motor together. They're kind of like these weird screws that they machined down, and so like you try to use a little force to remove them, and you could see that you could start to mess up the head of the screw. So you really need an oversized screwdriver to really fit in there correctly and get it out. So those are two little things, but I should imagine most people who ever have bought this fan and used it never even took it apart. Maybe the guards to clean it, but I doubt anyone took the motor apart to oil it. But we'll get there at some point. And the best part about it is we don't have any hardware left over, or are we short on something because we lost it. One of the things we have at our home workshop is he has a magnetic tray, so it's great. So for projects like this, you just throw everything into that tray, and it's not getting lost. I highly recommend that. And also he has a kind of like a snake flashlight with a magnetic end, so you can just put it down and then flex the light into the space that you need. And then you also, don't you have like this, it almost looks like a retractable antenna, but it's a magnet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is great. So like if you have a loose screw down deep somewhere, you just retract that thing, slide it down there, and it grabs it. Little things like that make the difference in the world.
You can kind of see where on each one of these you can see a little
Yeah.
paint chipped off.
Yeah.
People take them off.
Yeah.
Or was it just us? I don't know.
Yeah. You know, the thing with metal is, like, you can see there's some, like, this was clearly leaning against something because there's, like, white on the bottom.
Probably leaning against a wall for a while.
Yeah.
Humidity got to it.
Yeah. But one of the things I like about metal versus the plastic is, well, okay, so what? It's when the point comes in time, we can mask off the take it off, mask off the badge, and just hit it with glossy black because it looks like it's a gloss.
I'm assuming this gray is like a space gray
Yeah.
type color.
How many more do you got, or is that the last one?
It's the last one.
Yeah, these all feel good. And then,
the other side, I was able to use this for every single one except for one.
oh really?
This one,
Yeah.
you can use pliers for 2. It's not bad.
Nope.
Because last time I need to use 3.
I think the other interesting thing about this fan is it's got to be a 10-foot to 12-foot cord. I've never saw a fan come that way. So that's a nice commercial touch. I can't remember. I remember when Lasko had these brand new, about 10 years ago. I can't remember what the retail price was. I want to say it was, I'd be guessing, I guess. My guess, it was $75 to over $100, but you really get, like, you don't get a piece of junk. Like, you get something with a longer cord.
Yeah. Look at the other side.
Hang on, is that?
Alright.
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Crank it back up. Let's get it back in the frame here and keep the camera off to the side so we're not blowing ourselves away, which we're gonna do. Okay. I'm gonna put the feet out.
Yeah.
The very first time I ran it, I didn't even realize those were there. I was so tired that day when I got it back here. It's the end of the work day. Okay, go for it. I'm gonna start low. Notice how there's not really any startup sound, like that metallic.
Yeah.
Pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, it's not vibrating all over the place. I mean, you could feel like vibrations through the floor. You feel it in your feet, but it's not shaking. Is what I'm saying. Like, because it's out of clock. I hear those metal blades a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, here you have it. We did a cleaning. Not really a service. I guess you could call cleaning a service, but we're back together, and thanks for Eddie's help here on this video. Let me know what you think of this fan. If anyone has had experience taking these apart, I'd love to hear it. You're probably a needle in a haystack if you are. And make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you and this fan in other videos. Thanks for watching.